Hello, and I sneaked in a game of The Hobbit. We played one of the scenarios. My mate Rob's got a tournament on Saturday. Wanted a bit of practice, and why not? Hey. The tournament is going to be Firestorm in Cardiff this weekend. I don't know if you can still enter or anything, but look it up. And the tournament, they're going to be using the tournament pack of the scenarios. Excuse me. We rolled up randomly. And we got this one, the Total Domination. You can have a look in, pause the video, have a proper read. If you're interested in how some of these tournament scenarios work. The key one with this one is that there's basically 5 scenario points on the table. We place 2 each, and there's 1 in the middle. And it's a timed game, and when the time's up, you get 3 points if you have an uncontested objective, a point for all the contested ones, and obviously nothing for the ones you're nowhere near. The curious thing with this scenario is when you destroy units, they are not dead. They sort of go into reserve, and on a 4-5-6 you bring them back on again, or a 5-6 for the characters. Now at the time I underestimated how strong a factor this is on the scenario and how you can actually play this scenario differently. I still went in with a mindset of trying to win a battle and destroy the enemy, but of course you can't in this one. So on this report, it's a bit different. It's going to be a bit of a what I could or should have done report, and some ideas if you ever do find yourself playing this scenario. So there's 2 armies. Hope you can read that. They're quite small forces for this tournament. I think the idea is to have short games, get the whole tournament done in one day. So you've got the sort of 3 warbands of orcs, well 2 foot warbands, and 1 of the warg riders. The warg itself fights at a 4 or strength 4, so that makes the difference because you use the combined profile. Basically you got bows, and then you got the sort of 2 tough units of elves. Okay, so Rob just plonked down some scenery. Make it some more scenery. So it's in progress. You see a lot of yellow bases going to be painted, but it's getting there. Right, anyway, so here's the setup. The 5 dice, you can just about see the grey dice are where we place the scenario objectives. I hadn't thought too hard about where they should be. They just have to be away from one of the ones already on the table. That's something else probably worth thinking about. I would be inclined, if I did it again, to put them nearer the board edge. And you'll see why, because the different tactics I'd employ. Alright, so I plonked down my first unit of orcs right by the centre point objective. I mean, you do roll 1, 2 or 3. They have to go in the middle. 1 to 6 and go in the middle or the backfield. Well, I want to put all mine in the middle anyway, so the dice rolls are kind of irrelevant. My idea there is to take this one objective and push onto the other 2, which he's put quite close to the centre, and just try and slug it out. And part of my mind is still thinking about destroy the enemy. Yeah, I really underestimated this scenario. I thought at first it was just a straightforward battle, but it's a bit more subtle. Anyway, so the elves are deployed pretty much at the centre. The cavalry off to the left, the foot, as you can see, we're pretty much facing off against each other, and I've got the wargs to put on. See, we jump the picture there. So my plan at this stage is just face off against the elves, just dive in, commit them, hold them up, and grab the scenarios which are nearby. And the wargs are on the far right. So I'm still thinking about destroying the enemy's formation here and sweeping around the back and rear charges and stuff. Now rear charges don't really work in this game anyway. The warg's not the best heavy cavalry. Looking at it again, it seems obvious after a bit of thought, is I think the tactic here would be use all the orcs in the middle to just mob the elves. Just get in the way, stop them where they are. And the key is not to try and kill them. Just shield, defend, whatever. Just hold them up in the middle. And the wargs go and pick up those 3 empty scenario objectives, and you get quite a big win without destroying any elves at all. Why bother? So, which would have been easier, because Rob's charged straight in with the elves. Not quite sure what his objective was there, and I faced everyone up. And the trick would have been on the left unit particularly, instead of piling everyone in for the supporting attacks and all that kind of thing, was to loop a few round this side of that end cavalry to stop him swooping down and being free to pick up objectives. Okay, so you see the wargs coming around, realising they're not much use over on the far right, not much gain by them trying to destroy things, so they're sweeping around to try and join in the melee. A bit pointless. Right, so the red markers. I start using yellows for dead elves and red for dead orcs to make it less confusing later. But anyway, managed to kill one of the cavalry. They killed a couple of orcs. Big deal. You'll come back on. And this is what I was thinking. If I put the objectives near the edges, I mean, there's a bit of randomization where things come on, then they can be reinforcing the objectives while the survivors keep holding up the other units. So there's a big melee in the middle, couple of orcs down, couple of elf down. Yeah, there's a close-up. I have to say I always like seeing the figures for this game. I must take some lower angle ones because the best animation for figures, I have to say, they are getting extremely expensive. Some of the Forge World Hobbit figures are just eye-watering. Yeah, so then on the next turn, instead of re-engaging in the melee, this rider's peeled off and is now sitting on that objective unopposed. So I've really got to hope now that... nice tree we made there, by the way. Really got to hope... If I was thinking clearly, some orcs got to come off, redeploy back on this edge and drive them back off again. Okay, so a few Warg Riders. 3 Warg Riders are peeled off, cinematic style, to go and sort out that elf. There's the melee, and we're doing really well. I'm like, yeah, we're doing great. 3 elves down for 3 orcs down, which is pretty good. They've got the high fight value and everything. And you see lots on the floor from the charge. So he's getting double attacks. So we're doing a great job, but it's self-defeating, because every time take out a cavalry unit, it's going to come back on somewhere and be free to pick up objectives. So there's the overall situation. So he's now 4 wargs coming down to pick up this objective at the bottom. We've got quite a few injured, I would call them. And the wargs up on the far right are looking to pick off into that melee. We're also hiding behind the trees to dodge the elf archer at the top, which I have to say in the whole game hardly anything. And I've almost given up with orcs ever shooting. The bows are lousy in this, in my experience. I think I'm on about 8, 9, 10 games maybe. Can't remember hitting anything with a bow. Alright, so there's me rolling to come back on. You need a 4, 5 or 6. So the white dice, the roll to come back on. So you've got the 4. The red dice, the 6, means it comes back on any table edge. So he's 1 to go and attack objectives. The guys at the top, only 1's coming back on. I rolled a 1. I can't remember. I don't get to choose the table edge anyway, so he's out of the game. So these now got quite a few wargs sort of coming in. Plus the guy who just came back on. He's going to try and help take out that elf cavalry. Although I realise I've got on the right hand side of the table that unguarded objective, which might be more useful. Okay, so we keep on bashing away at each other in there. Details not really important, and you can see some of the elves coming back on again. Actually, they won't come back on, it's just the archers moving to get a better shot at my wild cavalry. The cavalry are gradually... Well, sorry, the cavalry and the orcs are bashing away at each other in the middle. Up on the top right, the Warg Riders have cleared that objective. Now, if I'd been smarter here, got almost the entire elf army bogged down in the centre, and the Wargs could pick up all 3 objectives. There's a close-up. What's his name? Is that Haldir, I think? Just to show some how cool these figures are. Nice paint job by Rob as well. Very good. Oh, yeah, the yellow marker. That was the thing. The sort of shiny marker in the middle was show he's doing a heroic action. Because I got the initiative and he wanted to go first. And his plan was, if he beats them all, he gets to make a follow-through attack. I think Rob had a bit of bloodlust as well. He was trying to destroy me as much as I was trying to destroy him. Good fun, but a bit pointless when he just come back on again. So we didn't quite bash through everybody. Oh yeah, I'll put this picture in because one of the rules that annoys me is the banner. If you have a banner in excuse me, if you have a banner fighting, it takes 1 off your highest dice. You don't roll a separate coloured dice for the banner. So of course I get 3 dice, highest one's a 4, becomes a 3. The elf rolled a 3, it's a draw. They've got higher fight skill. So 1 elf dice beat 3 orc dice, rolling a 3. So I felt a bit hard done by. And there's the objective you can see on the right. Now you have to be within 3 inches to score. So as long as the orcs keep pushing them away or holding them off more than 3 inches, that's an uncontested objective. So I've got 1 pretty safe. And from now on, or even the last turn, I should have just been shielding away, keep them blocked, keep them held in, and just pick up the objectives. Right. There we are. I was enjoying the battle too much. Okay, so another elf down. We're just bashing away each other. I'll go through all the dice rolls. The green ones to show that the Fury, if you can see the gold ring on the... I just popped that on the Shaman's staff to show that he has the Fury up. which is great. It's like a 5/6 ward save. I have to say, though, I think that spell is not well designed. Because you get it on a 3-up. If you roll it, brilliant. All your orcs get a 6 ward save. They always recover a wound on a roll of a 6. If you enhance it, and why wouldn't you, then you save on a 5 or 6. So a third of your models are coming back on. Extremely powerful. You've only got enough magic or might to cast it once. And that's it. So if you roll a 1 or 2, you don't get it all game. If you're lucky enough or skillful to roll a 3 or more, all your guys have got a great save. So that one luck of the dice roll at the beginning of the game decides the effect enough for your orcs, which doesn't seem right to me. And also that's the only thing your orc can do, because you only get 3 of the will. 1 is used to cast a spell, 1 to enhance it, and you must have at least 1 will remaining on the model for the spell to remain in place. So I don't think magic's very well done overall in Hobbit, really. Combat's great, but the magic, no. So, bottom left-hand corner, you can see this one elf is now getting surrounded. Sorry, it's 2 elves now. Getting surrounded by warg riders, milling around, trying to kill him. He just keeps killing warg riders, quite frustrating. So I want this to be an unopposed objective. And Rob's been a bit smarter than me, going for the objectives. On the right-hand side, there's another unguarded one. So I now desperately need warg riders to either die or move across quickly and start what should be my objectives to become Rob's. And another thing I was thinking is you could circle them. Just put 3 or 4 figures, especially on the big cavalry bases, around an objective, and you can stop the enemy getting to it. So as long as you don't lose, can't lose the game, really. So I've rolled to go, and I've gone first. I think this is the last turn of the game. So I really didn't want to go first. Right, I did want to go first, because I want to get in and try and block off the objectives. So that's what I've got. 2 cavalry, look at that, double 2. If I could have got a 4, 5, 6 on both of those, brought them both on, they could have been contesting objectives and could still have saved the game. They can't charge, but they can get near the objective and free up someone else to charge. See, in the middle I brought 2 back on. At least I got the 5s and 6s, so they come on where I want them, but they are foot, and they just don't have the movement to get near the objectives, which is why I mentioned earlier on hindsight, maybe objectives near the edge, then they can be useful, but also your opponent can play the same game, and the guy at the top hasn't made it either. So he's brought this guy on, and he rolled a 6, so he's actually brought on this resurrected elf cavalry at my table edge, so we can just gallop up to where that unguarded objective is. And his mate's also guarding it, so I've sent 1 warg rider down to vainly try and charge, win the melee, follow up and contest the objective. And now I've tried to block here, put a couple in the warg rider in the way, so it's a long way around, but blinking elves can move through woods as if it's normal terrain. And by engaging with one of his elves, the other one, the warg rider loses its own control and he can move around. Just get within the 3 inches and contest that one. There you see a close-up of how that worked. Imagine if I could have won the melee. Well, I can just see the other elf. But if I'd won the melee, I was thinking it might have helped. But we lost that as well. So it's definitely contested now. Yeah, both rolled 1s. Love it. Higher weapon skill wins. Okay. I'm not sure exactly why the 5's there. But anyway, they won the melee. They're in the contested objective zone. And this warg is trying to contest that objective. No, he gets killed. And that's the crucial one. Because I've got the objective in the middle. Rob has the objective behind his lines, and now he has this one uncontested. So I vainly try and win this to try and save the game. Now look at this, we've got this elf completely surrounded. So if we can win this phase, get double damage dice, so we'll be doing 6 damage dice, hopefully kill the elf. The other guy we got outnumbered 2 to 1 as well. Kill both elves and get an uncontested objective. You see these guys on foot not getting near enough. So rolled up, get my 6, but so do the elves. Superior weapon skill, they win the melee. All 3 bounce off. Nah, that sucks. So another contested objective. Yeah, they're a bit squishy elves, but they fight well. If you can get through, you can kill them. And at the top, see the yellow marker, we actually killed the other one. So if we'd won the melee, 3 to 1 surrounded and killed that one, That would have been a contested objective. So there you go, there's the overall situation. Most of the objectives are contested, apart from I've got one in the middle, so I get 3 points. Then Rob's got one at the top, and my one here on the bottom right hand corner. So he's got 6 points to my 3. The rest are contested, so he's won by 3 points. And I think, well, I told you what I think already, but I mean, if you can just engage everything in the middle, type as much enemy as possible. Secret of this scenario, in my view, don't try and kill anything. Just put the shield up, get the extra attacks, just hold them up there, especially cavalry. You don't want them coming back on the edges. And then keep your own cavalry free to go and mop up the objectives. So there we go. There's my thoughts on this. Quite enjoyed it. Just a short one. Hope you enjoyed it. It's going to be what's coming up next on the channel. To the Strongest. Ready for the tournament. It's the World Championships. I got to the final last year. I'm going to start posting the videos from last year's tournament so you can see them. It's a year old, but I still just about remember. And I've got the pictures here. I've taken so long putting them up. I have to put them up before this year's World Championship, otherwise it gets a bit daft. Right, okay, so please comment. I'd love to get some feedback. And I'll speak to you soon. In the meantime, keep rolling.